Welcome to Thoughts in a Glass podcast. I'm LaToya.
And I'm Kendra.
And this is a weekly podcast where we share our unfiltered thoughts and opinions on a variety of topics.
So sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, and join us on a conversation of real, raw, and ridiculously funny commentary.
Period. Every week we do a drink of the night. Kendra, what's our drink tonight?
So tonight's drink is a White Peach Margarita. Why is it a White Peach Margarita? Because it's what?
Cinco de Mayo!
How I made this as 2 ounces of your tequila. And we've got some, instead of your triple sec, which you would usually use, we have the white peach syrup. So I did an ounce and a half of that just to make it a little sweeter for somebody. And an ounce of you would use a half an ounce of lime juice. Put it in your shaker and shake it up, baby. Shake it like a maraca.
Cheers.
That peach is so good.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to do more
Syrups?
no drinks with the white peach because I like it.
You should have got 2 jars of that.
I think it'll be okay because it's strong, no? Anyway, so Cinco de Mayo is actually Monday, but whatever. We still, what they say when it's Cinco de Mayo, then it's what's 6? Siete? Ses. Okay. Ses de Mayo, and then Siete de Mayo, and then Ocho de Mayo.
It's all of de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. The football player. Ocho Cinco.
So, what's funny about this is apparently I've heard that Americans celebrate Cinco de Mayo more than Mexicans do.
Because it's not like, it's kind of like Thanksgiving.
Right.
For them. It's not as, because I think it wasn't the liberate.
So, so it's not their, I thought Cinco de Mayo was Mexican Independence Day, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
It is, Cinco de Mayo commemorates the Mexican Army's victory over the French forces at the Battle of Puebla. Maybe I'm not saying that right. Which took place on May 5th, 1862. While not Mexico's Independence Day, which is actually September 16th, Cinco de Mayo is a celebration of Mexican pride and resistance. The victory, despite a French occupation later, boosted Mexican morale and became a symbol of national unity. So, it's like, what would that be equivalent to?
It would be
like our Pearl Harbor. Did we lose Pearl Harbor? Yeah, so would it be like...
No, it would be like
World War...
4th of July.
But 4th of July is our Independence Day.
But then our Black Independence Day...
Oh, it's Juneteenth.
It's Juneteenth.
Got it.
So I'm talking about our people, meaning Black people. How we don't celebrate 4th of July, but we celebrate
Juneteenth. Okay, I get it. Yeah, so
where we stay at, it helped. But also...
I learned something. I swear I thought it was Mexican Independence Day, and it's not.
No.
And we be celebrating it hard, too.
Because they push anything that they can to give you. I'm telling you, they give you an ounce. And they say, Black History Month.
Now I have to go down a rabbit hole at some point, because I'm like, you know what I mean? Like St. Patrick's Day. What the fuck's going on? Like, what are we celebrating at the end of the day? Like, all I know is wear green so you don't get pinched.
Hello? And why?
And drink green beer. But what are we doing? You know what I mean? Is it a leprechaun at the end of the rainbow? I don't know. So, we've got to figure that out. How was your week? Or did you do anything this week?
No, child.
What are you watching? What are you reading?
What am I watching? I ain't watching. Child, why they laughed at me because I started watching The Nanny all over again.
Oh, that's a good show, though.
I know, but the thing is, and I saw this on the TikTok be trying to tell me so much about myself. It says when I'm going through anxiety, people that have ADHD that go like sometimes to for their
To like regulate your nervous system.
yes,
You
they
watch
watch
old
old
shows.
shows or shows that they already have seen.
Because you know the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And it's soothing, it's calming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I feel like that's.
So it's on. It was on Prime Video, so I was able to watch that. And then she is a little happily divorced, so I watched a little bit of that. But I was like, oh no, it's not old enough.
Did you watch Handmaid's Tale? Did you ever watch that? Were you into that? No. Oh well, I just.
You know what? So I tried, and too many people talked about how unattractive that lady was.
She is unattractive.
And so it did not. I could not see past her unattractive face up in that screen like this.
Yeah.
And it's not coming down her
She
nose.
did. She does that. She does that. Kelly. Is it Kelly Washington? Kerry Washington.
I was getting ready to say that face.
She has that face too. But the thing about it is, I think Kerry Washington is actually pretty. She just makes an ugly face. Whereas the girl that plays in the stars in The Handmaid's Tale, she is not conventionally attractive, and so when she makes that face with it, it makes it worse.
Yeah.
A little aside to that, I saw something on TikTok where this girl was kind of making a point about that and saying like, we're so readily able to accept romantic pairings where the man is conventionally unattractive. Like the man could be a beast, he could be a monster, he can be, you know, Quasimodo, you know, the Phantom of the Opera. The man can be this beast or this non-conventionally attractive person with this beautiful woman, and they fall in love and they ride off into the sunset. But it never works the other way around. Anytime you see a traditionally unattractive woman, either it's hard to sell it, people don't buy it or believe it, or it doesn't do well, right? In media, obviously it happens in real life, but in media. And so her question was, why is that? Was it done that way to begin with? And why do we keep perpetuating that not stereotype, but we keep perpetuating this new societal norm, or we keep perpetuating this societal norm, even though in real life that's not always the case, right? And so the first thing I thought about was patriarchy, because always that's the answer to everything. But I thought about the indoctrination of, for men, wanting everybody to accept this concept that as a man they don't have to be traditionally attractive, but as women we do.
So the thing,
or we should strive to it.
Yeah. So I think for television, especially, the thing is because more often than not, women can do in their mindsets. Women can do so much to hide.
Yeah, like beautify themselves.
And men can't. And so I think it gives men the license to not have to do too much to afford the looks of or be with someone who they deem beautiful by their standards.
Yeah, but why do they need license when literally men run the world? Why do they need a license? Or why do they need to keep putting that in front of us so that we accept it and we digest it?
I think it's because for men to gain favor by other men, they want to. It's all about who they bring on their arm, and so if they keep perpetuating that, these certain stereotypes, things like that, they're talking to a type of man who will now pay the money to take the classes for how to be, doing these with these Patreons, or how to get a girl, or how to do this, that, and the fourth, because this person did it, so you can do it. So this person did it, so you can do it. And I think the same thing for like women. The other thing is like, oh, you can, he might be abusive, might be this, but you can change him. So we get you could change him. If you're the right person, you could do all the things. So we get you just have to be a good person and you'll get out of this. Men get the you a man, so because you're a man, you deserve such and such. And if you're not getting such and such, it's everybody else's fault and not yours. So they don't know how to take accountability. But then that way that they look up to the people that actually get it.
Mm. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Just something interesting, and maybe in another episode we could really get into it. But I just because we were talking about that, talking about her, I thought it was interesting. Also, speaking of The Handmaid's Tale, I knew it was a book, didn't know it was banned in certain like schools, libraries. It's a banned book. And so I found out because this past weekend, I ended up going to the banned book fair.
Oh, okay.
In Old Town Alexandria. So this was super cute. So they did it was hosted by the Alexandria Library. And they did a pop-up speakeasy at the study at Morrison House. I've never been to this place before, but apparently it's like a historic mansion in Old Town Alexandria. They have a little restaurant and bar in there. It was really cute. But anyway, you go in, and the way they had it set up for this specific event, they kind of had the bar set up like a library, and you would get book, and inside the book, you would get your, the cards where it tells you like who checked out the book before you and all the dates and stuff like that. So we get one of those cards and you put your drink order on the card. And then you slide that inside of a book to the bartender. And then he would come around and basically bring you a book with the drink kind of thing. So it was super cute. It was super cute. This was one of the book club events, which they went on Sunday because on Sunday, like a big book fair where they were selling a bunch of books. They had vendors come in. They did brunch situation. I ended up going Saturday night because it was, one, better for me for my schedule, and two, Saturday night they did more of like the bar speakeasy thing where the brunch situation. They still had the library theme, but they didn't do like the whole speakeasy thing. It was more like a brunch setup. The proceeds went to the Alexandria Library, and basically what they're doing is, because a lot of these books are banned. I didn't realize that Beloved was banned now. What else is banned? Not Huckleberry Finn. Oh, Moby Dick is banned now. So I didn't realize this. I didn't realize a lot of books that we kind of grew up on, or like these classic books, are being banned from schools and libraries. What they're trying to do now is they're trying to start up an initiative where they can get the books to people to like read on their own kind of thing. If you're not going to get it in school, and if they're not allowed to have them in these federally funded libraries.
Color Purple?
Yes, The Color Purple is banned.
I got the whole list.
Yeah, they're trying to find a way to distribute them so that people can have them in their home libraries. So part of the proceeds of going to this event was going towards that initiative, and then you could buy a lot of these banned books at that event. Fun little thing to get into. I haven't really been watching much either. Listen, I'm gonna watch Sinners, okay? But y'all know I be booked and busy, and the last couple weekends last weekend you were doing a whole bunch of running around. You had Joshua's birthday party. I was doing a bunch of running around. This weekend, same thing, running around, meeting up with friends. Judah just got back. He was out of town for work, so he just got back. We've been doing a lot. And my brother also wants to go see Sinners too, so we're going to try to go as a family. Since that movie came out, we have not all been available at the same time. The plan is to go this coming weekend. Basically, if I can't get everybody to go, because Tiffany wants to go. I know you said you'll meet up with us for food after.
I know about all the movie though.
So I know, me too. I've been trying to stay off TikTok because it's been like spoilers. But I'm gonna try to go this weekend. If I can't go with my family, I'll just go by myself on like Friday. But once I see it, we can talk about Sinners. Otherwise, what I'm reading, a book called Still Beating by Jessica Hartman. This is a psychological thriller, which one of my book clubs, they love those. What I didn't like about this one though was that there is a sexual element, which is fine. I love a little bit of spice. But I didn't like this, and this is not a spoiler because this is in the synopsis, but there's a situation where two people have been taken captive and they're forced to do things to each other. And I didn't like that. I just didn't like that.
I don't know how you make that sexy.
But honestly, I didn't. It was something about it that just made me feel like I don't even want y'all to be together because y'all came together under such icky circumstances. Yeah, it's like, no. But on the other hand, it's like nobody else can kind of understand what I went through other than the person that went through it with me. You know what I mean? So whatever. It was a good read. I don't know if I would recommend it per se, just because it was some parts of it that I didn't really care for, and it is a little violent too, so you know there's that. But if you're looking for something and you want to get outside of your norm, I think it's a good deviation from the regular smuggler. Exactly. So that's what I'm reading. The last thing I wanted to bring up was one of my homeboys, Trey, is in a movie. And he told me about it a while ago. So this movie has been out for a minute. He's in a movie called Land of the Blessed. It came out last year. He told me about it a while ago. I just never got a chance to watching it. And so it originally came out on Tubi. Now it's on Amazon. I think you do have to rent it or buy it. I think it's like maybe $1.99 or $2.99 to rent it. If you're into Tubi movies, like if you ever watched a Tubi movie, it's worth it. It's the same caliber. It's higher end Tubi movie, but it's pretty decent. I'm not really the like drugs.
Oh,
you know,
sex, drugs, and money.
Yeah, sex, drugs, and money. I'm not really into that, but I watched this to support him. I think he did a great job. It's local, based in the DMV area, so there's a lot of nods to the DMV. A lot of the areas that they talk about, if you're from the area, you'll know where they are. I thought it was really good for a local film. If you like a little hood in your movies and your TV shows, I would recommend it, and to support my boy Trey. He also just recently did a Jordan shoe commercial that it went viral a couple weeks ago, so shout out to him. Yeah, I just wanted to plug that. I'll drop the information down below so y'all can check that out. So that is what I have been watching. Yeah, that's what I've been up to. What else is going on?
Nothing. It's getting ready to be Mother's Day. Are you ready?
I know.
Are you set?
What? Ready set for what?
You gotta take care of your mama.
Child, they get enough all year. But now I don't know what I'm going to do, honestly. I'm not even, actually, Mother's Day is also Judah's birthday, so we'll see. I don't even know, like, what we're going to do. My mom, I don't think, is going to be in town, so I know we have all of that.
Double dose.
Literally going on. You got your mom's birthday coming up.
Mom's birthday. Then Joshua's Davon's birthday just passed. I didn't say happy birthday to him last weekend, but
happy birthday, guys! Shout out to all the Tauruses. Are they Tauruses?
Yes.
It's Taurus season. Shout out to the Tauruses. Happy birthday to all of the Tauruses.
And for Mercedes' birthday is the 18th of May.
That's my mom's birthday too.
That's it. Lady's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, my mom's thing.
And then you got your mother. Is your mother-in-law a Taurus too, or is she a Gemini?
She a Taurus. No, she's a Gemini.
Okay.
Because her birthday's the 26th.
Okay. I'm not going to say she just missed it. She just made it into Gemini. Because, you know, I don't want to offend nobody.
Yeah, she just missed Taurus. She made it. Yeah. Right after that, I mean, I have a little bit of time, but then Janae turns 19.
When's her birthday?
June 21st.
Okay.
So
Chris is the 28th.
Yeah. So I have time for that. And then nothing in July. But trying to entertain. We're going to his other little brother graduates from high school, so we're going to North Carolina in June. It's a lot.
I'll just forewarn y'all that we may be doing some batch recordings over the summer because
it's a lot
already looking forward into May.
It's a lot.
We got a bunch going on, so we'll probably at some point do a batch recording to get us through the month of May. And I don't know what the summer's going to look like. I would like to try this year to not take any breaks.
Yeah.
Except for if we do take a break, either we're going to take a summer break or we're going to take a winter break. But I would like to only take one break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just plan for because we know the summers get busy and we know the holidays get busy. So whichever one we feel like we could plan for, it. And then if we can't plan for, then we take a break.
Yeah. I think the easier times, honestly, be like pushing through the summer because you get longer days.
Mm-hmm.
And
That
I feel
is
like
true.
if I get off early and let's say we record on a weekday and it's like 6, well at 9 o'clock I'm not going home and it's like pitch dark.
Yeah.
Even if I say, okay, well I'll come over on a, I feel like I still have a day. Even if I work, we do 3 episodes. Then I'm like, all right, well we get done at 5 o'clock. Well, I still have until 9 to still do stuff or whatever. Yep. I don't feel like in the wintertime. I'd be like 4 o'clock and it's already dusk.
Yeah,
baby, I'm in the bed.
Yeah, no, that's true. Okay, well we'll push through, but y'all just know we're gonna be doing batch recordings over the summer.
And don't say nothing.
Some of these topics gonna be a little late.
You'll be like, why y'all ain't talk about? And we'll talk about it when I feel like it.
All right. Speaking of that, did you hear about this story on TikTok about this girl getting jumped at her baby shower
and lost the baby?
Yeah.
So I try not to dive too deep into those.
Me too. I didn't watch.
Somebody started it, and I was like, "That's crazy work."
I didn't watch the video of it actually happening. I saw somebody recapping it because I was like, I wouldn't even be able to watch that. Like, are you kidding me? But like, what's going on with people? And from the looks of it now, y'all, I don't have all the details. Like I said, I didn't fully dive into it. But from the looks of it, it looks like they threw her a surprise baby shower. She was having a great time. Everybody's having a good time. How do y'all go from laughing, kikiing, eating food and everything in this girl's face, buying fucking gifts, to now trying to beat her ass outside of the venue? I'm so lost on that.
It's crazy work.
And nobody said nothing. Nobody helped.
Crazy work.
I feel like it's more to the story, but another part of me is like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what else is to the story. Yeah.
A life has been lost.
And I'll be honest with y'all. Y'all know I don't have any biological kids. But in my mind, it's like, I don't care if this girl, you know what I'm saying?
Meet her after.
Yeah. Like, I don't care if she put her hands on your child. Because, people, they do anything for the kids, right? All right, so she put her hands on your child. I'm not saying you can't beat her ass. But can we wait till after she had the baby before you beat her ass?
Right. What did the baby do?
What did the baby do? And why? My whole thing is the elaborate, the grandiosity of putting on a whole baby shower. Now, I'm hearing that the people that did it did get arrested for assault charges, but I feel like
murder in the first.
Yeah,
murder was the case that they gave me.
We need to upgrade it to manslaughter, because what the hell?
Murder was the case that they gave me, because the thing is, to do this is murder has to be something planned.
Yes.
This was planned. This was not
It was definitely premeditated.
Murder was the case that they gave them.
Yeah.
That's it.
I feel so sad for that girl. I couldn't even watch a video because she had posted like an update video where she was thanking people for their prayers and everything. She had 2 black eyes and I think a tooth missing. I couldn't even watch it. Child. I was like, you know how you first few seconds of a clip on TikTok, I had to scroll past it. I felt so bad, but I was like, I gotta scroll past it because I cannot watch this. Like, I just can't. I don't know how they could do that. How could you be so heartless?
Yeah, these YNs.
I know.
From those YNs to the YNs in this damn DMV.
I know. Okay, so what's going on with that? I don't know nothing about it.
Girl, they got fought over the weekend at Six Flags.
Oh.
A massive fight.
Wow.
Had Six Flags already, they used to close at 11, 10, in the summertime. Six Flags closing at 6 o'clock.
Wow.
During the spring break right now. And then during the week, like summertime regular operation hours, the latest Six Flags is open until 7 o'clock. And then on Saturdays open until 8.
Wow.
So a couple weekends ago, because everybody was out for spring break, and this is why they don't usually have them all out at the same time for spring breaks. I don't know what the hell who ain't got their senses together, because they used to do like Maryland and Virginia would make DC and all the charter schools still go to school, and then let DC out, and then like a few weeks later, and then let all of the charter schools out too, because when all of these little gangs or cliques or whatever get together, they lose their mind. Girl, they went down a couple weekends ago. They left Six Flags, so wasn't no too many incidents. Ended up going down to National Harbor. Got into all the fights there.
Wow.
Because now the harbor got a curfew. You got to be with an adult by after 7 o'clock. Left the harbor, went down to the Navy Yard. Over 30 fights.
What
was happening at the Navy Yard a couple weekends ago? They were trying to go down to the was down at the wharf.
Child.
When I say get the YNs out of here. Went to so I forgot to say this last week, and I meant to. That's just bring this up. When we was at the mall. I walked in, and it was the security guard at Arundel Mills Mall.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what is she standing there with, like, wristbands?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is she standing here for? Girl, anybody that looked of the age under 18, I think it was under 18, or maybe even I think it was under 18, had to be escorted by an adult.
Wow.
And then they had to get a wristband. And they had to take down, I think, the teen's name and the adult's name.
Wow.
And that's the only way they could get in. And I said,
well, you know what? They did it to themselves. I
don't know what's going on.
They don't know how to act, and you know what I'm saying?
And let me tell y'all now, because somebody had put this on the socials, and I wanted to fight. They like, these can't be... These gotta be millennial kids' parent. I mean, now I really can't get it out because I'm trying to. Millennial kid parents, these y'all kids.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, nah, because these are like Gen Alphas.
Okay.
Right? And they was like, millennial parents don't have Gen Z kids, so they have to be Gen Alphas. Gen Alpha kids is like, the ones above millennial. And I was like, first of all, cut the shit.
Yeah.
Because Gen Alpha stops at 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So 2010, well, I think maybe 2011 to now, like 2025 or something like that is like
mm-hmm.
Gen Alpha. Then there'll be Gen Beta.
Okay.
So I was like, I had 3 kids that were Gen Alphas. Because Janae's like 19, Justin would have been 20, Jayla 16. And I'm like, and then my other ones now are like the Gen Alphas, but they're the lower end.
Right.
So it's that middle section of 14, 15.
But all of that just don't mean shit because people having babies at different ages.
So I'm saying all to say that they were like, they were talking about the millennial parents.
Okay.
And they were saying, and the reason that these kids is outside is because the millennial parents is also outside. And I want to say, first of all, it's too big of a gap of millennial for you to be talking cash crazy. Because the 80 millennials is minding their damn business and going to work.
I mean, we be outside too, though.
But my kids is grown.
That's true.
My kids is grownish. So, again... Talk to the ones in the 90s. If you was a baby in the 90s, that's your business. I was a kid in the 90s. So I know what to... Listen, I know what we talking about. Don't do us.
I didn't realize all of that was going on.
Girl,
also,
that's because you down at Wolf. And then I'm on the social, they're like, we need a Metro and Waldorf. I said, wow, so you can bring the hoodlums down there too?
Right.
Y'all just want more landscape to act like assholes.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind a Metro down here, though.
You say that this is why this girl...
But it's already, like, it's already super congested. Like, not having a Metro don't stop people from coming. The traffic on the weekends is the same as the traffic on the weekdays. Everybody driving in.
But I'm not even talking about the traffic. It's the fact that, like, anytime girls are brawl at Pentagon City. Anywhere they can get to on the Metro, it just doopity doop the doop. Stuff leaving from like they don't go over the Tysons too because they don't really know about, they ain't going over there too. But they be up in the Tysons.
I think it depends on what you have in that area, right? Because like I don't be hearing about too much happening out like Dulles where they have the end of that line, the end of the Silver Line.
It's too long. See, the thing is, it's too long, and it's not enough places for you to get off to still be able to get home.
Right.
So if you traveling all the way out, and it's not as bad, except that it's like maybe the kids that already like live out that way.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't see as many of us maybe going out to Tyson's and acting crazy. You see more Caucasians and stuff like that. But if they go to the mall, I can maybe go up two stations and then hop off and get, as soon as I get into DC, I can run halfway up the block,
right,
and hop another station.
Right.
I mean, hop another train and go to, I'm at a whole new station, and so it just caused confusion.
Because I feel like you don't hear about all that up north either. Like when I say up north, I mean like past Silver Spring, like into Hanover or wherever those northern lines end. You know what I'm saying?
But and that thing is, they don't, because that's more, their stuff is like more of the gang stuff.
Okay. Because of the demographics. Okay.
They not doing a whole lot of, they shooting, and they got a whole gang thing.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. We got a whole bunch of just niggas being, they just niggering.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what y'all doing? My sister-in-law was like, and I told her, I was like, yeah, because my nephew Aiden, he just turned 6. And so she's like, oh, I think we're going to try to take him to Six Flags. And now it's only $30 to get in.
Oh, interesting.
Because you're only there for a couple hours.
Got it.
They don't open until 11, and they close at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody paying $90 for half a day. That's not that's not worth your money. And so then Jayla's talking about something. I'm going to send her that and be like, baby, no season pass there, but we'll take you to Kings Dominion. I'll take the 2-hour ride. I'm not comfortable. Even if I went with you, we not staying together the whole time.
Right.
So I'm not even comfortable with that. It's too much going on. And the thing is, you could really be minding your business, but you should see all the kids that was running and how quickly you can be trampled, or your little brother can be trampled, or something can happen. And not on my watch. Not on my watch. So unfortunately, I'm glad I didn't spend that money. And
there's other stuff they can do. There's water parks. There's there's other things.
Yeah, I think that we'll have to just plan for, like, okay, so we'll just take a couple of your friends together and we'll ride out to Kings Dominion or Busch Gardens or something like that. But now you just have to go a little bit further out so you can actually enjoy the stuff. It's so sad and unfortunate.
I didn't know that was going on,
girl.
So, all right, the YNs. Apparently, the aunties have been trying to talk to the YNs too.
Because the aunties want the danger. They done seen the uncles get the danger. Now here the aunties like, sign me up. I'ma change you. But that's their problem. They be trying to change somebody.
So, all right, what do you think about this Anwar situation, the dating coach? Have you heard about? So I'm pretty sure you've seen him on TikTok. He's the gay dating coach, always giving advice.
No.
Really? You never seen him? All right, well, anyway, he's a dating coach. He's popular on TikTok. He's always giving advice to his clients about, like, check for the guys that are checking for you. These are the guys that like, black girls. These are guys that like white girls. These are guys that like thick girls, etc. Usually, in my opinion, from what I have seen, usually he's pretty spot on with it. But apparently, and at the end of his blurbs, he always says, if you want to work with me, link in my bio, right? So one of his clients who has had success with him was coming out on TikTok giving her testimony about the success that she has had working with him as a dating coach. But the thing that everybody is stuck on is that she paid $10,000. But that was for a year of working with him. And the girls were like, you paid $10,000 and you met your husband on Hinge, and you paid $10,000 and his advice is common sense, this, that, whatever. But she getting ready to get married. She's engaged. And so with everything going on, like, we aren't really in it because we're in relationships, but like adjacent to, because we're in relationships. Here you go with this bullshit.
It gives me a kick every time.
Adjacent to that, though, the dating world, like our friends, family, different people in the dating world, and we're getting older. So you see some of your friends and some of your family members, like, in their 40s, get into their 40s, and they want marriage and they're not married, or they going from relationship to relationship. So what are your thoughts on that?
My thing is, invest in what you want to invest in, right? So people put $10,000 into a vehicle, or they like old school, so they'll put a bunch of money into cars that they just have in the showroom. You know what I'm saying? So you can invest in what you want to invest in. If the investment is for your future, and if you're so, for example, we feel like the future of our family is important, right? And so people buy houses to have that thing, right? And then when you get a house, you paying this, and you got to get the grass, and you got to do this, and this done fell apart, the roof done came off. Like, it's all these other things that you're investing in, but you feel it's worth it. I know one of the a young lady that I went to middle school with, she's on social media, and she traveled the world with her husband and her son. And one of the things she was saying, she was like, everybody's at home like, you should get married, you should buy a house, you should have this. She said, but if I had all of those things, I wouldn't be able to travel like I'm traveling now. I wouldn't be able to, so everybody invest in what they want to because of how they want their outlook to come. So if she got it, flaunt it, and that's her business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If it gives her the results that she wants, great. Y'all can call stuff common sense. People are in therapy, and a therapist will tell you common sense. But
and people literally will pay almost the equivalent amount for a year of therapy.
Right. So the thing is, if your investment is into yourself, and yourself is, okay, I want to be out of this traumatic lifestyle, you go to therapy. If you're investing in yourself, and your investment is, I want to find a husband, I want to get married, I want this type of lifestyle, and if I found someone who can give me that direction, now it's up to you on how often, like how much you want to put in that. If it's 10,000 is like, and if you don't get enough and you can re-up, that's the gamble, right? And you can go to therapy and spend all this money and then realize, I don't want to change. That's the gamble. Or you don't have a great therapist who is telling you stuff and it's like giving you a little bit but not enough. And so it's all of these different things. That's her business. But I tell you what, as much common sense as it is, half y'all don't use the common or the sense.
And that's what be getting me, right?
Like everybody has something to say.
I know people that complain about this shit. It'd be like, okay, oh, she paid $10,000. I could have told her what he told her, but okay, why then don't you apply that to your own life? You're saying that, and you're single. You're saying that, and your baby daddy running circles around you. Like.
And this is the thing: somebody can tell you something, and nothing happens with it. Somebody can tell you something and then give you the tools on how to use it for your specific self. That's a different type of skill set. We could tell everybody, I could tell people, oh yeah, you should go get a 401k, you should do this, you should do that. And they go on and get a 401k. It's somebody else who'll say, and when you set it up, you need to do this exactly for this few months and this exactly for this few months, because it's a difference. We all could tell each other the same damn thing. It's the delivery, and it's also knowing the atmosphere in which or how that person's personality works, and how you can do that. How do you apply it? It's the application. We can read a book on how to be a doctor, but if you don't go to school for it and they don't teach you how to do it, and then you don't put it in practice, you ain't gonna know.
Yeah.
So my job, and if she got it to, even if it wasn't it's not, and for her it wasn't a blown,
right?
But if she got it to let it go, then it's her business.
Granted, she's an entrepreneur. She has her own business, and she makes over 6 figures a year, so she did have it to spend. I think another issue in this is that and not to be calling everybody broke, but when people have resources and other people that don't have those resources see how they're using it, it's almost like you want to call it a waste of money because you don't have the resources to be able to splurge on something like that. But if you did, and you were in that situation where you really wanted to get out here, start dating, and find somebody, right. You wanted to date with intent, and you really wanted to find somebody, and this person saying, hey, I'm a coach. I've successfully done this for several hundreds of people. Out of those several hundreds of people, I have about an 80% engagement rate. If that's something that you want and you have the money, now all of a sudden it's looking much more valuable. But if it's something that you can't afford, so you can't even fathom the value of it, now you're like, why is she paying for that?
It's just like when people say, you know what, I'm working out and stuff like that, but I'm going to go ahead and get a chef. A chef, you should be able to cook all that stuff yourself. You should be able to meal prep yourself. I don't have the time to go through the ups and downs of the macros and all the other stuff. She don't have the time to go out here and I got this date and this date. I don't have time. As an entrepreneur, I don't got time for all that. You set it up. You just stand the forth. What should my profile look like? I think that there's more things that are probably within his package. People be so, they take the surface level of the conversation as all that it is involved.
Because why would I put out everything that I teach on my social media? They were judging it based off of what he puts out on TikTok and even some of the things that she said. But why would she say every little thing they did? And why would he put out every little thing he does with his clients? If he's putting it out for free, what is there to pay for?
And then not even just that. I'm not going to tell you my secrets on how I'm getting my clients anything, because there's also somebody else that wants those same clients.
And to further your point, some of this is personalized, right? So we don't know if she came to him saying, well, hey, I'm already on Hinge. And he's like, okay, well, since you're already on Hinge, let's work with that. How can I tailor my system specifically to your needs so that you can get the results you're looking for? And that was kind of frustrating to me. Some of the comments was, well, if you met your dude on Hinge, what was the point? I met my nigga on Hinge, and I didn't have to pay $10,000.
But you met the wrong nigga on Hinge, too.
Right. She getting ready to get married. She getting ready to get...
Because the thing is, you might have met him there, but it's the dating part.
Right.
It's the thing
the
is,
vetting,
it's
all
not,
of that, yeah.
She could have met 4 or 5 other niggas on Hinge.
Exactly.
And it didn't work out because she was able to vet them and move on about her business. It's about all the things that she was taught in the process. I've got him. She could have said, if she would say, I met him at the grocery store. Well, I met my man in the grocery store too. Everybody gonna meet somebody somewhere. Goddamn it. What are you talking about? Like,
and the response will be the same. Well, I didn't have to pay $10,000. Or you have those people that are like, well, just let it happen naturally. Okay, but if I'm in my 40s or almost 40 and I know this is what I want for my life and I know I want kids and all of that, let it happen naturally. I don't have the time for that.
And the thing is, unfortunately, he is also teaching you some things with these now in this industry, with him being in social media and seeing what's on the podcast and what the guys are thinking and stuff like that. So now you can say, if this guy comes to you with this type of conversation, this is what he's talking about. And I'm not even talking about negative stuff. If he's like, well, if he says, this is what I'm bringing to the table, you already know you're talking about a 50-50 type of nigga.
Right.
So now he's not going to be somebody you want to talk to. But us looking at it, hearing the table talk before it became so negative, it would be like, well, he's bringing so much to the table. He is a catch. He is a this. He is a that. Now you know if that's the first thing he say, well, because I have this job, I have this. If he started to talk about all of his accolades, he think he the prize. Move on. But if nobody's telling you that, you just thinking he's just doting on himself because he wants you to know that he's a great guy for you to continue to date.
And that's not common sense.
No, it's not.
That's not common.
How many years I've been alive? Have you have to learn that?
Right, exactly. That's lived experience.
Exactly.
And what happens when you don't have that experience? I've been focusing on my career. I've been focusing on school. I haven't been dating.
Yeah.
Now I want to jump into that dating pool.
And I want to eliminate having to deal with all of the back and forth. And I don't.
Or having to get hit with the learning curve. Spending 2 years with a nigga that was a bum. Because like you said, I've never experienced this kind of conversation before.
Exactly. So just get out of people's pockets. Get out of people's pockets. That would be the same. Why would somebody buy a yacht? Or if they got all this, and that's y'all do the other stuff. Y'all got all this money. Why you don't got a private jet? Because I want to keep my money. People do what they want to do. Everything. Why you go to, why you always going to get fast food? If I can afford it, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Right.
Why you only cooking spaghetti? Well, but you only eating oodles and noodles. Oh, you think you fancy because you can have spaghetti. Everybody that don't have something, the next person think that they have the most. Mind your business. How many of y'all probably still be paying for blackpeoplemeet.com?
They still have that?
Yes. It's called Black.
Oh. I'm going to throw my mom out there. She told me she had met a guy on Facebook, right? I was like, how you meet a guy on Facebook? She was like,
Facebook dating app.
I didn't know Facebook had a dating app. And I'm throwing her so much shade. I'm like, it's probably a scam and this and that. And then she showed me that Facebook literally has a whole dating thing.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. I said, well, let me just shut my fat ass up. Let me just mind my business.
When it's a dating app for every farmers, old people, new people, them people, everybody got an app.
I might need to get on one. I keep telling y'all I need me a wife.
Girl.
I do.
All right, so I have What would you do? Get up on your feet.
You got a friend?
I got a friend.
Okay.
I got a question from a friend. I have a friend who has a daughter, right? She was talking to me about how she and her daughter haven't had the best relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so, unfortunately, a few years ago, her daughter's father passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to give you the whole story. So, the mother was dating this guy, the father. So, we're just going to say this guy.
Right.
Okay. So, the mother was dating this guy. And then the guy was also dating somebody else.
Okay.
However, my friend, she's the one that ends up getting pregnant. The daughter and the father don't have a relationship. She loses contact with the father. They're going about their business. The father and this other person continue with a relationship. She ends up having a son. Boopity boop, bop, bop, bop.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the daughter now has a relationship.
The father's ex-girlfriend or the father's ex-wife.
So the father ends up marrying the other lady, but then they get divorced. He marries somebody else. They get divorced, and then he marries her. Now the daughter has a little brother by this lady.
Got it.
Right. So now the girlfriends at the time. Now one has a daughter, which is my friend's daughter, and the other lady has a son.
Okay.
Then
and the other lady is his third wife or his first wife?
So the other lady is his first wife.
Got it. Okay.
Now the third wife now has her little brother.
Got it.
So the father passed away when he was with the third wife.
Got it.
So clear. Once the father passed away, the daughter reached out to her brother to have a relationship. So this is the
first wife's son. Yeah.
Right. To have a relationship with him. And then inevitably started having a relationship with the mom, right?
Because the brother was young.
I don't know the specifics.
Because I'm like, if they're both grown, why would I need? Like, I could see like they were young. If one of Jayla's siblings try to reach out to her now, like she's still under your roof,
right?
But versus one of Janae's siblings, she's older, so like you wouldn't have nothing to do with that connection. You know what I mean?
Right. If anything, that I think the brother might have is either late high school or was in the 20s.
Got it.
Wasn't like
so young
super
adult.
Young, right? Mm-hmm. So the daughter has this relationship with now her brother, but then forges this relationship with
her brother's mom.
And started calling the brother's mom the stepmom.
Interesting.
Now, remembering the dynamics, these two women were dating the father
at the same time.
Around the same time. So when I'm talking to the mother, she's like, that's not even her stepmother.
Right.
Like, her stepmother
would be the third wife.
Would be the third wife. You didn't even know her when they was married.
Right.
So why would you consider her? So I think that the mother, which is my friend, is hurt by the fact that you're giving somebody a title that you didn't even have a relationship with at the time of that being the actual
with the dynamic. I think, but also additionally, there's probably some beef there, right? Like if we was dating this dude at the same time, and now you talking about that's your stepmother, like nah, sis, nah.
So I will say this. So a few years back, my friend, she was talking to she had put something on social media and was like, oh, my daughter, whatever, something. I think she either said something or her daughter put on something about her birthday.
Right.
And so the
quote unquote
stepmother, quote unquote stepmother, first wife. I'm going to say her son's.
The first wife.
I'm just going to say her brother's mother.
Okay.
Her brother's mother was like, oh, my daughter. It's my daughter's birthday. I just love her so much. Blah, 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 blah. So her mother was like, that's not your fucking daughter.
On social media?
On social media.
Yikes.
Right? And so they go and add it on social media.
Wow.
So she ends up blocking her mother. And not the other lady. Other lady, I think. I'll ask and double check. But I think that's what. And so she's like feeling a certain kind of way because now with her daughter, she's like, if she starts having like grandkids and stuff like that, I don't want my grandchildren
to be calling this other woman
grandma and like taking a title from me where, yeah, we may have had a rocky relationship, but I'm still your mom. I'm still the person that brought you into this world. And I wonder sometimes, like, and I'm trying to, so I was having a conversation with her, and I was like, well, I wonder if and I try to be sensitive because I know about, a parent relationship.
Yes.
And so I don't want to make her feel any worse. Mm-hmm. But then I'm like, I also wonder if during that time she's looking for any connection with her dad, and because this woman has known knew the father longer than you, mm-hmm. and later into his life, up until he passed away, because he still was very much so involved with her little brother. She's just trying to get more information.
Yeah.
And then because she's much in more close proximity, because my friend travels a lot, so that was another thing.
Yeah.
And so now,
whereas like his first wife is a little bit more stable.
Yes.
So
always
it's like,
around.
Yeah. So basically, do you think the first wife kind of?
It's very like, from the way she's presenting her, is like super, like she's like overly friendly. She always,
exactly what I was getting ready to say. Do you think she like takes advantage of the fact of like, oh, your mom's out of town, well, I'm cooking, you could come over, or what? Like, just takes advantage of the fact of like, since your mom's not here or not around per se,
kind of trying to step into that.
Yeah.
And I think that's how my friend, and that's kind of, and as a mom, I'm kind of like, so LaToya and I kind of talked about this before. Cause
how old is the daughter?
I want to say she's maybe like 30.
In her 30s.
Like 38, 39. I'm not positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
But older. She's not young.
She's like around our age, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
So this has been going on for some years. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that also too, to me, is like a bit of a red flag. Mm-hmm. Like with the daughter, I'm saying like, you're not young. You know what I'm saying? Like, why have you kind of allowed this to go on for so long without being like, hey, I appreciate everything you're doing for me, but I have a mom. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So yeah, so I want to get your thoughts. Well, we did kind of chat about it, and this is why Tori was like, I think we should bring that to the cast. Yeah. It's about to be Mother's Day. Let's see what the mothers are saying. What's all the fight? But when we were talking about it, and you were saying with your situation,
so I can identify with that to a certain extent. Like me and my mother-in-law are close, but the difference is that is my mother-in-law. You know what I mean? Like we do have that connection,
right?
Whereas this is like the connection is paper thin,
right? And that's what I'm saying. So if there's already static, when that is like actually here's the marriage certificate, we are still together, And you like, your mom like, it's cute.
Yeah, right.
Like, don't get cute.
Exactly. Like, it's no shade, but definitely my mom was like, that's my daughter. Right.
But, and so, and I'm thinking, I'm like, I wish somebody would.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you what, there have been, and I'm a fight you personality. Well, I don't have a fight.
It depends on the situation.
That day. But I don't go at people that's not. Well, I don't go to people at people.
What are you trying to say?
I know, because then I see. So I'm about to say that, and then I have an incident in my brain where like you was about to hop the fence with your baby in your hands. So I'm gonna need you to shut up.
So you don't usually.
I don't usually, because one time and this was postpartum, so I got to say it's postpartum brain. Jonathan father had a girl that was pressed for him, and I knew he was spinning the story and stuff like that, but also she popping off, pop, and I'm like, you don't even know, this ain't even his last baby. He just had another baby 3 weeks ago, right,
and you over here popping at me.
And you over here popping at me, and you talk about, well, you gonna wait? Oh, well, that's why he want me. When I tell you, I'm literally Jonathan is in a carrier in my arms, and I'm on my way over the fence. When I tell you I was gonna kill that lady. But anyway, so don't, it depends on the day. It also depends on the day. But I haven't had a situation, and I usually go to which is will be difficult at this point because the father's passed. But I go to the person, like to the other parent to say something. But I will say, I probably, if anybody said, "Oh, my daughter," about my kids, excuse me, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation. And then if it's something like that situation, and she put on social media, like let's say, and they end up getting married, right? Because he was kind of messing with us at the same time, and they end up getting married. And the girl I'm about to hop over the fence on, said something about Jonathan being her son. I'm cussing her through and through on them social medias, and I would give it to the both of them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
okay, but
then I don't know.
Playing devil's advocate, right?
But then I'll say this. Wait, hold on, real quick. I don't know if fifth was a fifth. If was a fifth, but if they got, like, let's say they got like the same situation. They had gotten married, then divorced. He got remarried, then divorced, then remarried, and my child never had a relationship with her, and then all of a sudden they linked because of a secondary relationship, meaning because of her sibling. No, at all, no, kind of thing. So I can understand, but devil advocate you.
Well, I don't even know if I can play devil's advocate in this situation, because now I'm starting to think about the connection, which all of these scenarios that I'm thinking of, it's a completely different connection. Because I was telling you, like, I wouldn't even do that with Sydney, and that is my stepdaughter, right? And I would be well within my rights to be my daughter, right? It, even more so to the extent that we are living as that dynamic currently. You know what I mean? It's not like she was never around me and I'm talking, oh, my daughter. Like, no, I'm taking care of her. Yeah. I mean, obviously she's a young adult, but to the extent that a parent would to a young adult, right?
Exactly.
But I don't even do that, and I don't even have a reason to respect her mom.
Right.
But I just do that because of my own character.
Exactly.
I'm not about to
it's about boundaries.
do that.
And the thing is you wouldn't want somebody to disrespect you.
Right.
And the thing is, even if you don't consider it disrespect.
Right.
If someone, no matter if you like them or not, and this is just how I feel, if you like them or not, and that's their biological, came out of I carried them, fed them through my body, nursed them when whatever I did, it's just a level of respect. Yeah. I think it's even a level, even if that person doesn't have a relationship with their own parent. A lot of times I've seen where they're like, I know you don't have a relationship with your mom, and I'm still not even stepping into that role. Right. I don't want to step into that role because if that person's mom is deceased, they don't want to, I don't, that it's just a thing. I'm not trying to be your mother. I just want to be a part of your life.
What it sounds like to me is a lack of respect on the part of the first wife. And I don't know if that's coming from the former beef of them both dating the same man, and she still feel like, well, fuck her. And it also feels like a disregard from the daughter. Because, come on now. You're an adult. You mean to tell me you don't see how this is painful to your mom? And, yeah, typically you would go to that other parent. But in a situation where we're all adults, she should be able to go to her daughter and say, this is inappropriate, and it makes me feel away. And then as her child, respecting that. Yeah, and correct it. Now, if the child doesn't, like, say the daughter is like, oh, well, I'm not changing nothing, then guess what? We also are all adults, and we have to accept that she's not going to change that dynamic. So you, mom, have to decide
how you want to deal
how you going to deal with it. Yep.
Which is, I felt for her. I said, I definitely, we were talking about it. I was like, well, I definitely feel for you. She's like, I just don't know. it's just still, and I think it's still so difficult because I think they're still in love with the man. And the man is not even like, so now you, young woman, have had this baby with this man that you at a young age fell in love with
and never got over,
right? And then even through the hard times, and then now, and it's not like, a lot of times stuff like this happens and that person's still alive and you're like, man, fuck his fault, kind of thing. But now that he is passed, you're kind of like, well, that, now you have,
she didn't get the closure,
or the mindset. And from talking to her, she's like, even when he was like, he did come and apologize to me and said that he was sorry for not being there for she and I, and that he still loved me too, and this, that, and the fourth, and blah blah blah. So, and that was the last conversation that they kind of had, because he was trying to make amends in the midst of I can't remember what he passed from, but I think he was sick. And so it's like,
but then for his first wife too, I think, come on now, grow up. You're being childish with the disrespect. But also, I wonder if it is a level of, this is one of his kids that has reached out and, trying to, have a relationship. Maybe it's filling a void of, he's no longer here. I can still be attached to him by my son and by his other daughter.
But that's like, again, I feel like that's so selfish.
It is.
It's very selfish and a self-centered way of looking at things, because I could be more maybe empathetic if she didn't have her own child with him.
Right.
Like, if you're reasoning,
it's like you want your child and this
somebody
other woman's
else's
child too,
right? Like, it's like you're trying to complete your son-daughter mindset. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I didn't have a daughter, so now I could take now I have his daughter as well, and our son together. So now I have our complete family. And it's like, girl, them ain't your damn kid.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that ain't your kid. So
that one ain't yours.
You're right, that ain't yours.
And why do we have to have a title on it? Like, why can't it just be like, this is, I really, this is my son's sister, and like, I just really care for her, or like, even like godmom, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd love to be your godmother or something. I don't know. Because people are touchy about that too. Like, I don't know about that, but like,
my thing is,
bonus mom, maybe, I don't know.
And you could even if you felt like, oh, this is my, because I say this all the time, and it deserves, and this is what I hate when people be like, well, maybe you don't want to explain. If it's something that's important to you, it deserves an explanation.
Right.
My mother's best friend, Alicia, who now, because of the age, they were really good friends, right? My mother, she looked at my mom more of as like a mentor. But they became really good friends. They was hanging out and stuff. But then now she's like still going through life, and because my mom is, of course, she'll be 70 this year, and Lily is in her 50s. So there's a little bit. So now the gap. My mother's still out here dipping and doing, so don't play her. But where my parents are settled, Lily she got a divorce a few years ago, so she's kind of starting over. So the mentee relationship is kind of back, and so she's looking at my mom like mom and dad, and us as like myself and my siblings as now her siblings. So when I say, my sister Alicia, I said, well, that's more of like my bonus sister, because also I'm giving the respect to my siblings, my blood siblings.
Right. So you don't just straight up call her your sister, because you have an actual sister. Yeah.
And I don't want people to be like, oh, I only thought you had, and that's a whole thing. So I also put a thing of it of, I'm respecting my sister that I have, that is my biological sister. And then I'm also respecting her mother, to say she has a mother who has passed. So it being my bonus sister, a lot of people was like, oh, so it's your mom's bonus daughter. Exactly. So now you're not disrespecting her mom as if, oh, well, I wonder if her mother ain't doing, because people go through these spirals. And it's like, no. And then if they're like, oh, well, how did they mean? They were friends for a long time. And that may go into it, because
it warrants the explanation.
It's not like some bull. Like, it deserves any relationship is deserving of. Say like, oh, how did you and Toya wait? I could just be like, oh, just in high school, but it's deserving of, oh, child, all of the things that come with why the relationship is. Y'all will be quick to explain why you can't stand that bitch. So
I can relate to that too, in the sense of I call Sydney my stepdaughter, right? And and a lot of people don't care for that, but I think it's appropriate where we're concerned for a couple of reasons. One, because I have not birthed any children, so when I'm saying my daughter, I think people will automatically assume, and then so let's say I just said, oh, this is my daughter, and then you assume that that's my biological child, and now you're assuming that, well, when you was pregnant with Sydney, blah blah blah. Now that's an awkward conversation. Now I have to explain, like, oh, that's actually my stepdaughter. So I for me and for her, you know what I'm saying, it works, because there are situations where she's talking about things and not referring to me, where she's, oh, well, my mom, this, that, whatever. And if you just met her today,
you would think everything she's talking about is you.
Right. When we first kind of were exploring like how we were going to navigate this, I did have some people saying like, stepdaughter, why you got to call her your stepdaughter? And I know people have tried to get away from that, and people have tried to like blend their families to where it's more seamless. But for us, it's appropriate. And just to your point of, sometimes you have to respect the different titles, or respect the explanation that comes with it. Like, it's better for us if I say you're my stepdaughter and you say I'm your stepmom, because that kind of gives the precursor to what this dynamic is. And so if people are having more questions or wondering what's going on, it kind of is already explained a little bit by that.
And the thing is, and then like bonus, because you have bonus kids where, like my mom's situation, that's not her stepmom. That's, and my sister, and Alicia, but that is a bonus person in your life. That is your bonus parent. So even if
your mom has acted as a maternal figure.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, and I'm like, so we were brainstorming like, what are other things the daughter could have called, like, my bonus mom. And even if it's starting off as this is whatever this is whatever the person's name is, this is my brother's mother, but she's more like a bonus mom to me. Yeah. And that be your explanation, and you keep it moving. And so, because at this point, I think even calling her your stepmother downgrades your actual
because the part that we're missing is she still has a stepmother.
And then I'm like, so does that mean you have 3 stepmothers?
Or are you going to just skip the second one because you're not cool with her?
So then that means you're not serious about this.
Yeah.
This is a game. So, yeah, I don't know. But my friend was, and especially like Mother's Day's coming up and things like that. And then she, of course, y'all know how much I talk about my teen girl. So she like, I just wish that I had that kind of relationship with my own child. And I be like, you can't do it like me.
You can't replicate that. It is what it is. That's crazy.
But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day.
Yeah, and put your thoughts in the comments. Please. Any moms out there, like, chime in on this. What do y'all think about it? Like tell us, give us your feedback.
And if you are if you are in that situation and you're the first person, what is your thinking behind it? And why are you moving like that? And give us some clarity on that, because we're only getting one side of the story.
That's true.
So I can only go off of this scenario and how she's framing it. And so maybe you're on the other end like, but no.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So make sure you
like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Get down in them comments like we just asked. And we'll
drink to that.